42 right there with him. Smokes him. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the whole field is junk. It's a parking lot. They door slam each other. Checkered flag in the air. It's going to be too close to call. Oh, he just got smoked. Oh, my goodness. Turned. He got dumped in incineration. Caution is out. We saw a lot. Oh, he's dead. Toward each other. Ricker jumps in. Checkered flag in the air. Scott Ricker wins it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Laguna Seca. Tonight, we are here with the Stars and Stripes series in the Indy Cars. Going to be a good one. We are here for the Grand Prix of Monterey. Can't wait for this one as Zach Kreitz is top of the board for practice. Checkered flag in the air. That's all the practice they're going to get. 109.71 was the time to beat in practice. But, folks, it is time to jump straight into qualifying action. We're going to kick back. We're going to relax. We're going to watch these guys log some laps. Enjoy as we are, for the first time ever, streaming in 1440p, folks. This is the first time anybody on the internet has ever streamed in 1440p. As Michael Kurgelik rolling out on the track, we're going to kick back, relax, play some music. Enjoy. In the meantime, click that like button, subscribe to the page, Hutchinson Motorsports TV World's #1 streaming service. Qualifying action is underway here at Laguna Seca. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Laguna Seca, and in the booth with me now is Bump and Run Jesse Becker. Jesse, how you feeling about this one here tonight?
I'm excited, man. I like the Indy cars. I don't have much experience with them myself, but seeing Chad White on top of the board so far, I don't know if that's going to stick, but if it does, that'll be pretty cool. Big fan of Chad.
Absolutely. And Chad, yeah, I'll tell you why he's up front, Jesse. I'm not going to lie. Chad's been calling me all week, stressed out about this race. Blake, what should I do at Laguna Seca? What should I do? And, last night I talked to him about 3 hours. I walked him around this track. I had him print out a map, and I walked him through every single corner. And, Jesse, he seems to have mastered it finally.
Yeah, I would have to say so. We're a little over halfway through qualifying now, and his time's still on top of the board with 1 minute and 9 seconds, a little bit over that. And you've got Brian Burchett in second there. He's about 6/10 back, and then Kyle Bowling 7/10. So it's sort of close for second and third, but that's a big lead. We'll see if it sticks.
Now, Jesse, I know one car to watch here is going to be this 9 machine Zach Kreitz. He was quick time in practice, so keep an eye on him as he's out on his out lap right now. See if he can put down the quick time, get around Chad White.
We'll have to see. And if he's out there, which I'm not 100% sure if he is, he usually is every week. Do we have the man himself, Scott Rickard, out here tonight?
Oh, you know what? I don't know if I've noticed him or not. I know we got about 26 in here. Let me take a look. I am not seeing. There is no goat in the pasture tonight. Scott Rickard is not in the building, Jesse.
Well, he was one of the people I had a stat prepared for that might have blown your mind a little bit. He has, in Stars and Stripes, Scott Rickard has 12 road course starts, and he's won 10 times out of 12. His average finish is literally 1. So if he was in here, he would have been the one to watch for sure.
Absolutely. That is crazy. I'm sure these drivers are happy he is not, because he would definitely be the favorite. But Chad White's time is still holding up top as Zach Kreitz kind of putting down a stinker.
Yeah, it's interesting because they've never ran this track before in Stars and Stripes, not once. So this is kind of new for everybody. The IndyCar, there's been several Indy 500s, and then of course we raced Michigan earlier this season. Other than that, there's no road course experience in IndyCar in this league for these guys, and there's no experience with this track in any sort of car. So it's whole lot of new today for these guys out here.
Absolutely. And Jesse, I know you were putting together some stats earlier. Were any other stats up there? Did any of the other stats jump out towards you other than Scott Rickard's stat?
Well, so if we talk about IndyCar specific stuff, one of the guys that would be one to watch, I don't see him either, but Dylan Grimm's very successful in Indy cars. Scott Rickard, of course. As we look at people that have set times, nobody's really popping out. Alex Buffoli has 3 past starts. His average finish is only 15th, so he's not that consistent in the Indy cars. But when it comes to road course specific stuff, Kyle McCoy has finished top 10 on the road courses 9 out of 10 times. Kyle Bowling, if he's out there, he's qualified 4th. He has 11 road course starts, and he's finished top 10 in every single one with an average finish of 5th. So those are a couple guys to watch when it comes to turning right.
Absolutely. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. This is really, this is our first road course race of the season period. And I believe it's only our second IndyCar start. So it's really going to be interesting. We really have no clue who's going to stand out and who's going to embarrass themselves. 3 cars to watch for, though, Jesse. Team BCI, that's JT Tinker, Brian Samara, and Aaron Poplin. They're ones to watch, and not because they're fast, Jesse.
Yeah, they're ones to, I don't know if those guys have any experience when it comes to Indy cars on a road course. That sounds like a scary recipe for guys that are known for running a super speedway series with drafting. You come here and none of that really applies. So it's going to be interesting to watch those guys as qualifying seems to be done here tonight.
Yes, sir. Qualifying is done for. Let's get some patented Hutchinson Motorsports TV tunes. We're going to get rolling and get this one started. We are here at the Grand Prix of Monterey at Laguna Seca with Stars and Stripes.
Let's go.
I'm picking out, I'm fine tuning. Oh, this is a good one, folks. You're going to enjoy this one. This is a patented Hutchinson Motorsports TV tune. We're going to get it playing.
It can be hard to pick. They're all good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually changing my mind here. Nope, not that one. Here we go. We're going to go with this one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are set here at Laguna Seca with the Stars and Stripes Series. It is time for the Grand Prix of Monterey here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. The first time ever we are streaming live in 1440p. We are the first ones on the internet to ever do it. You are witnessing history. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is tonight's starting lineup. Give me a moment. All right, we are set. Here we go. Now we're ready. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's starting lineup on the front row. Inside the pole sitter in the bad fast Hutchinson Motorsports TV 36 machine. It's Chad White. On his outside, the 97, DJ Weeks.
Row number 2 is going to be in third, the 33 of Brian Burchett, and in fourth, the 44 of Kyle Bowling.
Row number 3 on the inside, going to be the 41, Michael Kurzalik. On his outside, straight off the boat from Italy, the 08, Alex Buffoli.
Row number 4 is going to be 24, Brian Lynch, and to his outside, inside, I don't know what it is, but it's going to be the 8 of Zach Price in that number 9 car.
And row number 5 on the inside in the 17 machine, William Duff, the 4th on his outside, the 28, Josh.
Row number 6 kicks off with that bad fast 69 machine of Ben Shepard. Next to him is going to be the 77 of Larry Griffin III, not related to Robert.
Absolutely heading into row number 7 on the inside in the number 7 in the bad fast Iowa State machine. It is Kyle McCoy. On his outside, the 4, Aaron Hale.
Row number 8 certainly looking scary. You've got the brothers Nate Lynch and Ryan Lynch right next to each other in the 25 and the 3.
Fun fact, Jesse, they are actually not related somehow, but nonetheless, heading into row number 9 in the 91, Chris Estrie. On his outside, the 46, Jason Bratton.
I'm not going to believe you whatsoever about the 2 Lynches, but then you've got the BCI row here, row 10, Brian Samara in the 53 and Aaron Poplin in the 63.
And we head into the 21st starting position. It's the number 8 machine, Josh Gratton. On his outside, the last BCI car, the 93, JT Tinker.
Row 12 has the 10 of Mark Schrader and the 55 of Tommy Osborne.
And in the next row in the 82 machine is Gavin Adams. On his outside, the 39, Doug Pierce. And that is all of tonight's starting lineup, ladies and gentlemen. Jesse, heading into the start of this race, who you got winning it?
Oh, give me... Shoot, that's a tough pick. I'm just going to... Give me Chad White. He qualified first.
All right, well, Jesse's taking the Hutchinson Motorsports TV machine out front on the pole. You're about to see that pace truck head and get out of the way. My pick to win it, I'm going to go with the 41 of Michael Kurzalik. He's going to park in victory lane. That's my pick.
It's a bold move.
But now, Jesse, how the pace truck's in. We'll talk about it here in a moment. But, folks, we are ready to roll for the second time of the season in the Indy Cars Stars and Stripes Series action here at Laguna Seca. Into the restart zone. Green flag in the air. The Grand Prix of Monterey is underway. Out of turn 1, Jesse, what are you seeing through the field as they are racing hard but clean so far?
Yeah, first and second. We've got a battle for third between Burchett and Bowling's yet to be settled out. Almost little contact there is. One's off track. Looks like Burchett forced off track there by Bowling. I heard an apology in the chat, but you can apologize all you want. You still made him lose about 4 spots there.
Yeah, he doored him pretty good, sent him straight off the track as Zach Price is trying to work up to the field after a disappointing qualifying session. He is up to 4th right now. We know he's got speed. He was the fastest car in practice earlier.
Yeah, that bad qualifying lap. As you mentioned, set it back a little bit, so he's got some work doing that lap at number 9 IndyCar. But like you said, looking good so far, up 4 spots early.
Absolutely. And Jesse, I was down in the garage earlier. I was strapping some GoPros all around this car. Can you believe these angles we got here?
This is HMS TV, baby. We've got all the angles you could ever ask for. We've got GoPros all over all of the cars. We've got cameras behind every wall you can think of. There's even guys laying out in the sand pits. Just we hope to God that no cars end up heading that direction. And we've got, of course, the most important one. We managed to get the Harpoon Design blimp out here to Laguna Seca.
Absolutely. And folks, we're going to go up to our eyes in the sky, the Harpoon Design blimp. Jesse, what do you know about Harpoon Design?
He's the top painter on all of trading paints. If you need a paint, you go to harpoondesign.com. You'll be able to get hooked up. Let them know HMS TV sent you. Glad to bring them on board as a partner here on HMS TV.
100%. As you're watching the Harpoon Design fly over your screen right now, the Harpoon Design blimp, sorry about that, fly across the top of your screen right now. What a beautiful graphic, watching some beautiful views here at Laguna Seca. Now, Jesse, what do you know about this track?
I know that it is in Monterey, California. Of course, the name of the race, the Grand Prix of Monterey. The fun fact is that turn, the corkscrew that we were talking about earlier, it's a 59-foot drop in around 450 feet of track. So it's definitely a tough corner. I've tried to drive it before in other cars, and it's like, I'm supposed to do what? It kind of catches you off guard. And a big nickname for this place is the sand pit. As you can probably see on your screen, there's all sorts of sand everywhere. If you go offline, get in the sand, it's a tough bet to get out.
Absolutely, and it looks like Josh Whitaker has junked it. Let's see what happened. So here's Josh Whitaker in the 28. This happened a little bit ago. He's heading up the hill here into the corner. Just overshoots it, it looks like. Here we go. Oh, yeah, just late break. Well, he didn't really damage it. I don't know why he even said he went off track, because he didn't.
He's all by himself, too. It makes you wonder if he started from the pits or if he had some sort of mistake that put him back that far. There wasn't a car near him. It was like a ghost town.
Not at all. As we're watching them rip it around, we got camera crews around the entire tracks. They are in the hot sand. It is a hot day out here in Monterey, California. Jesse, where is Monterey in California?
I have no clue. I would assume some sort of part of the desert. Kind of reminds me of a Sonoma type line. Let me see if I can get you a general area of Monterey, California here.
Let me guess. For some reason, I'm thinking it's somewhat near San Jose, but who knows? Honestly, I could be wrong. I thought there was a Monterey near San Jose, but I could be wrong. But while Jesse looks that up, Chad White is your race leader right now. Looking good as we're checking out the chat. We got Connor Gerard, Tanner L, BMC Rocks, and if you don't know, folks, BMC Rocks in the chat. That is Brian Samara out here. He is racing, and he is not very good here in the IndyCar tonight.
You were pretty close with Monterey. I'd say Santa Cruz is probably a closer, bigger city, of course, but it is south of San Jose on the map, so you were pretty close. It's on the coast, which you wouldn't expect. Looking at the terrain, really.
Seeing the sand kind of threw me off there, but I remember hearing about San Jose being near Monterey. I think I used to talk to somebody from out in that direction. That's the only reason I knew. But meanwhile, though, how about the Italian, Jesse? Alex Buffoli, currently running in 5th. I tried to talk to Alex last night, and I'll tell you what, he just cannot understand a single word. He doesn't know any English at all. He was just smiling and nodding. I don't think he had any idea what I was saying.
You would think all these guys out here driving with him, he follows him around week to week. You'd think somebody would kind of take him under his wing and maybe teach him a little bit. Maybe somebody like Andrew Hess could teach him a little bit about speaking English.
Well, I'll tell you what, Andrew Hess, the only thing he would want to teach him is to look at his wieners on Instagram. Which Andrew Hess, I don't think is out here, Jesse. I'm not seeing him. Which is a shock because we know he's good. Oh, we got a wreck here. Let's see what happened.
Kyle McCoy involved. I don't know if it was the same wreck or two separate incidents.
There it is.
It looks like one of them. Looks like somebody else went off to the right there, kind of on their own thing. And Gavin Adams here stuck, just waiting to go back out on the track there, hoping somebody can let him back in.
Oh,
Buffoli!
Oh my! He just junked it right on cue as soon as we jump back. He must have been trying to flip a pizza in the car, Jesse. Alex Buffoli has junked his front nose. And, Jesse, I don't think we have any fast repairs here tonight.
I'm telling you, the nose of that IndyCar looks like a limp noodle. As far as I do understand, for IndyCar races, they do get one fast repair. I don't know if that's IndyCar specific or road course specific. So he will get to fix the car back up here.
We're going to see as he's heading down pit road. We're going to jump back out front. Chad White is just dominating this race. Jesse, I did not know Chad White was an IndyCar ringer.
Yeah, when I think of Chad White, I think of doing well in the Superstar ARCA cars. I think of him doing well in the Xfinity cars, even the Cup car a little bit. Anything with four wheels and all the body panels. When it comes to the open wheel stuff, I didn't think of talking about Chad White almost having a 2-second lead at Laguna Seca.
Not at all. Yeah, car to beat for sure. But, Jesse, it's going to be tough because we're going to have green flag stops. We're not going to have any yellows here tonight. And I'm not sure how long a fuel run is. I'm thinking these guys are only going to have to pit once.
Yeah, they do have to pit at least once for fuel from my understanding. And they're actually, interestingly enough, going to have to change tire compounds as well. So if they're on the black tires right now, they're going to have to go to the reds and vice versa.
Well, that is interesting. I didn't know there was a setting for that, but it's cool they make them do that. Hopefully that comes to NASCAR someday.
I don't think they meant to make them do that. From what I understand, is they either didn't have a choice or didn't know how to click the button properly.
Well, who knows, but let's drop back. What are you seeing out of this 63 of Aaron Poplin here so far, Jesse?
All four wheels are still on the track. It looks like all pieces of the car are still put together, so good stuff. Good start for the 63. I did see something earlier, I think, on lap one where he might have had some sort of incident, but it doesn't seem to be too much damage for that 63, thankfully. But he's looking okay so far.
100%. Aaron Poplin, he is known as the most talented driver on Team BCI. Currently, he's running 21st.
Lets a couple guys by there. Only one spot, I believe, from where he qualified, so that's not too bad so far for the 63.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, his car owner right here, Brian Samara, BMC Rocks in the chat, currently running in the 16th position after starting 19th, so he is slowly gaining some ground out of Kannapolis, North Carolina.
Yeah, you see there in his bio, 3-time 5150 Cup Series points runner-up. One of those runner-up seasons was for me, which of course, no bragging here. I did win the championship in something in my life. But on lap 8, Brian Samara sitting 16th, up 3 spots, passing Buffoli there. Well, it looked like he passed him for a second, but up 3 spots in 16th. He's gaining a little bit so far.
Yeah, Jesse, how about that turn there down the hill? That has to be kind of sketchy to go through as we go up a few spots. His teammate, JT Tinker, he started back in 22nd. Jesse, he's up to 12.
JT is a bit of a loose cannon. He has the speed. It just depends on if he can control it. And if he can keep all four wheels going the direction he needs to, he can have a good result here. We've got a heck of a battle between Zach Kreitz and it looks like that's Burchett, the 33. Kreitz going to let him go. Not sure why, but they were side by side there. I don't know if there was contact or what, but Burchett going to take that spot away from Kreitz.
Yes, sir. Meanwhile, Ben Shepherd running in the 11th spot, trying to get to Aaron Hale for 10th. And then the next closest battle on the track. It's like that's the closest battle right now, folks. We got one right here. Tommy Osborne racing Kyle McCoy. We saw Kyle McCoy get tangled up earlier. He's got a little bit of speed, but he lost a lot of ground in that tangle up.
Yeah, McCoy so far this season, in 5 starts, he's sitting on the pole twice. He's not that good of a qualifying effort for McCoy this time. He qualified about 13th. But he's got the speed. I just don't know if he has it in the IndyCar.
He's going to try to figure it out. Now, Jesse, we released our power rankings, I believe, Friday or so. Do you have them handy on you? Who is leading this series? We know Scott Rickard's on the top of the board, but who else is up there?
Yeah, when it comes to the Superstar ARCA series, Scott Rickard is number 1, Dylan Grimm number 2. Chad White is technically on here, but that's for the Superstar ARCA series, so I'm not going to call him number 3. I'm going to say it's Aaron Hell 3, Trey Jackson 4. Ryan Lynch going to take the 5th spot when it comes to the Superstar or the Stars and Stripes series.
Now, Jesse, I'm curious. I know our power rankings, they take a racer's highest score out of the series. Is there a way to find what his score just for this series here in Stars and Stripes is?
There certainly is. It would take me a second, but I can probably find that out for you.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I know Chad's had a pretty solid season. I mean, he did much better over in the Superstar ARCA series, but he's had a pretty good year, and I wouldn't be shocked if he happened to be up there in the top 5, especially after this outing. I think we will be seeing him.
I'll go ahead and look into that for you if you give me just a few moments.
Yes, sir. Jesse going to look into that in the chat. We got the GOAT, Connor Gerard. He does not miss at Hutchinson Motorsports TV broadcast. And, Jesse, we've got Christian Taylor in the chat.
Yeah, another no show for the Mr. Christian Taylor in the chat there. But thankfully I was able to run here to Laguna Seca to cover up for him and get somebody else in the booth here with you.
Absolutely. You know, Christian really put us in a pickle. Thankfully, you were able to pick up the slack.
I do the best I can. Sometimes it's late notice, but you got to do what you can do.
And meanwhile, Josh Gratton just junked it here. Jesse, let's see what happened. It is not wanting to flip over there for some reason. Give me a moment. Here we go. Here's Josh Gratton. He's had a rough night so far. Doesn't get any better here. Going into the corner, I bet he just flies off the track. Yep, forgets to turn, Jesse.
That's one thing you got to do is turn the car.
But he gets it rolling, not too bad. You know, my thing just says people crash when they barely go off the track, so there it is. That's what you saw. But right now, though, Jesse, Chad White out front by 2 seconds on Kyle Bowling. Can he keep this pace up as we are a quarter of the way through the race here on the lap 11?
It's decently competitive race. The gap stayed pretty close.
Oh, look out.
Looks like we got somebody around.
I believe that is Mark Schrader or Josh Whitaker. I don't know. There's a few of them went off the track. So Ryan Lynch went off the track. That wasn't him there. Let's see what he does, though. So he barely goes off. Then we got Mark Schrader going off track. That's the same spot. Then we got Josh Whitaker going off track. There it is. That's what we saw. Well, Josh Whitaker looping it, and Aaron Poplin goes off the track as well there, Jesse. Tricky corner here for these guys.
Yeah, that's that corkscrew that we've been talking about all day so far. As mentioned before, it's a 59-foot drop and about 450 feet of track. So the camera plays some tricks. It's steeper than it even looks. So it's tough to handle for sure. The car gets really upset, and you got to hit the line just right, or you're toast.
Yes, sir. It's Kyle Bowling sitting in second. He has his sights on the race leader. That is Chad White right in front of him. Just about a second and a half separate the two.
Yeah, I'm looking back at past lap times. It looks like the last 3 laps, lap 9, Chad gained about 5/10 of a second on Bowling. Then lap 10, Bowling gained about a 10th. And then lap 11, he gained over a second on Chad White. So it's going to stay a close battle between these two. It's going back and forth between these consistent laps.
And right here, just pulled up the lap times here. As Jesse was mentioning there, lap 8, you know, they're flipping back and forth, but Bowling seems to be trending in the right direction with White.
It could be a good battle if he ever gets to him, but if Chad can just focus on laying down consistent laps, he shouldn't have much of a threat from anybody here. We're creeping up on halfway through this race already, 13 laps in, and he's starting to hit some traffic now.
A lot of traffic coming up here. Lap cars all over the place for your race leader, Chad White. Let's see how he gets through them, if these guys maybe cut him some slack, as we don't have much room to work with here at Laguna Seca.
These drivers do have push to pass tonight enabled, so I believe in IndyCar it gives a little bit more power to the car whenever that button's hit, so you can get by people easier on these road courses. Not sure. It'd be really cool if we were able to know how much push to pass these drivers had left, if they've used any at all. As somebody like me, I'd probably forget to set a button and just not be able to use it all night.
Yeah, same thing here. And my guess is that is not information we're going to have. I treat it like telemetry.
Oh, I'd have to imagine. So I'm just saying it would be cool one day to have that sort of information available.
But Chad White doing a great job getting through traffic. He might actually be gaining some ground on Bowling getting through this traffic.
I don't know. If you look at that gap, it was about 1.8 seconds earlier. Now it's down to 1.2. I think Bowling might be having the advantage through here, but Chad's been able to hold the lead so far. He can probably keep it.
Yeah, meanwhile, in the third position, we got the 97 DJ Weeks. Been a quiet night for him, but a good one. He started in the second spot. Here he is, still running third.
Yeah, it's a good number on the car for DJ Weeks. I do like a good number 97. Oh, no, as somebody goes off right in front of Chad. I'm not sure who it was. I know it was an all-black car, but I think they went right nose first into the wall.
Ryan Lynch just junked it. Let's see.
It was Jason Gratton.
Oh, he has had a rough night. He's gone off the track like probably 6 times. That's in the tough turn there. Oh.
Yeah, he went right towards the fence there. Any damage for that car?
Watch this replay one more time. Get a different angle. Oh, that was right in front of the leader. That was close call there. Poor Chad White.
I think he got on the brakes in time to save the nose of that car and not have it break off like you saw with the Foley earlier with his limp noodle.
You know, that's bad news for the rest of the racers tonight because I've seen Josh Gratton fly off the track about as many times as I would if I was out there.
Yeah, it's not good. I think it's Jason Gratton slid off the track there. You're saying Josh. Fun fact, did you know Jason Gratton is second in the season points right now?
I can believe it. He's had some good runs from what I've seen.
My stat sheet calls him Mr. Consistency, keeping him P2.
As we look through the field, though, let's see what's going on through the field. We've got William Duff, the 4th, running in the 7th position. Checking out your hard charger, JT Tinker, still sitting in 12th, started 22nd. He's the only car that's gained double-digit positions.
Definitely the biggest mover of the night. And one thing we haven't talked about so far, and it's a little tougher with the road courses, but we haven't talked about the HMS TV Battle for Last yet. Do you have anybody you're looking at that you think is the Battle for Last nominee right now as we got 25
I'll tell you who
to
it
go?
needs to be. It needs to be Josh Gratton because this guy cannot drive an IndyCar, Jesse.
I see that off the track, just hanging out, going through the gravel. That's not where you want to be. You want to be on the asphalt.
But, Jesse, to answer your question, Hutchinson Motorsports TV Battle for Last, it's going to go to Dancing Shoes, Mark Schrader in the number 10 machine. He is slow. He is junk. He's kind of in the way here in the KendrickCars.com number 10 machine.
I mean, he's got his hometown listed as Virginia. Last I checked, that's an entire state. I don't think that can be your hometown. But you do you, Mark.
Yeah, so we're going to watch Mark here. Park it in the last. Hopefully that's what he's looking for. We're going to pull up the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Battle for a last graphic there on the bottom left of your stream. But folks, if you are just tuning in, be sure click that like button on the video, subscribe to the page for the first time ever. We are broadcasting live here in 1440p, also known as 2K, whatever you want to call it. All we know is it looks good and it looks fast here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Be sure to subscribe.
Streams are looking better than ever. That 10 car right there on screen is looking the best it ever could have here on HMS TV. As poor Jason Gratton once again in the corkscrew. He made a whole new line that I've never seen before back on lap 15 there. There's all sorts of gravel and debris all over the track.
Hey, Jesse, can you maybe look up how many incident points does Josh Gratton have? I swear he's flown off the track probably 10 times. Let's see if I got it. No, I'm not seeing it either. But nonetheless, Chad White's still out front. Not much changing here in the gap. Still about a 1.1, 1.2 second gap. But we do know Kyle Bowling is slowly reeling him in. So Chad White cannot take a break. He's got to keep pushing that number 36 Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Going up to the Harpoon Design blimp, folks, be sure head on over to harpoondesign.com. Jesse paints start at only $25 with the best painter online, Brantley Roden.
I was gonna say, you might think, oh, $25, like, that's kind of steep, but just go to Trading Paints and you go to Painters. He's gonna be one of the first names you see Harpoon design. You look at those paints that are on his page, and you're gonna go, $25 is a steal of a deal.
Absolutely. He's made us some incredible paints, folks. If you're tuning in Wednesday night, we got Chad White running in a Hutchinson Motorsports TV truck in the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series. And boy, that thing looks incredible. I am not being biased here at all. That's honestly probably the best paint I've ever seen.
I was gonna say, it's so good that you decided to use it for yourself when it comes to racing trucks. You just said, I'm gonna put this same paint on my truck. All I'm gonna do is change the number.
You know, I hopped into a session. I was actually racing with Chad White, so he had his paint on, obviously. And then Brian Samara comes over the radio and says, Blake, did you just take Chad's paint and slap your number on it? That's exactly what I did. That paint looks so good. I had to take it myself.
Looks so good, you had to see it twice if you were there in that race.
But we look around the track. Josh Whitaker has flown off the track again. Boy, it has been a night not to remember for that 28 of Josh Whitaker.
Yeah, he had that Valvoline machine slideways coming through that corner. The bright blue wheels on that thing look pretty sweet, but what is not sweet is his inability to keep the four wheels going straight.
And somebody in the chat asked Ryan Lynch on pit road, question mark. Yes, he is. He's sitting on pit road. He has had enough of turning right here at Laguna Seca. Ryan Lynch is done.
I can't blame him. Sometimes it's better to just call it quits.
So he's not calling it quits, though. Kyle Bolin still in that second spot, 1.3 seconds behind your race leader. Jesse, we're halfway done. You're probably going to be seeing these guys head down pit road here soon.
I know that Chad is on the hard tires. I don't know which tires for sure the 44 is on, but if I'm Chad White, I'm probably going as far as I can on fuel before I come in and take the tires, switch over to that soft compound, because they're grippy, but they're going to shred a lot more quicker than the hard compound tires. If you've seen F1, they've got the softs and mediums and all sorts of stuff. That's basically the same way they operate.
Well, Jesse, I actually do have that information. All I know is there's a primary tire and an alternate tire. Chad White's on the primary. Kyle Bowling is on the alternate. So it's going to get interesting here as these two are on two different sets of tires.
Yeah, the primary is the harder compound tire. The alternate with that red wall is going to be the softer tire. So it's got a little more grip, but it will wear out quicker.
Meanwhile, Brian Burchett just junked it. Let's see what he did here. Let's take a look at what he did. Going into the corner here. Oh, just throws a little hard. Goes in the grass. Keeps it straight, though. Chad White down pit road.
Comes down pit road from the lead. We'll see. Well, obviously, he's going to switch onto those softer tires. We'll see what kind of speed he's able to get on those red tires. Kyle Bowling going to take over the lead.
Now, Jesse, I will say Chad's best time is actually better than the rest of the field, so the hard tire might be the faster tire. I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, it's going to be a problem for everybody if Chad can get out here on the soft tires and set an even faster lap than he did on the hard tires. Because I think if that's the case, the rest of the field's going to be in trouble whenever they come down pit road.
Yeah, Chad's best lap was a 110.24. Bowling had a 110.65. So pretty close, but still, if Chad's on the harder tire, and if this tire is going to be faster, and people might be in trouble as Bowling goes off the track briefly there, he's going to give up some ground. DJ Weeks takes over the race lead, actually. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, DJ Weeks takes advantage of Bowling's mistake. He's going to lead him some laps here.
He's going to try to get around some lap traffic. He's got Kyle McCoy right there in front of him in the number 7 Iowa State machine. Jesse, did you know Iowa State is actually the best college in Iowa?
Which other ones are there?
I don't know. There's one that's real boring with football. They punt a lot. What's the name of that team? I think they're the Jayhawks. Or oh no, it's the Hawkeyes.
Hawk something. Hawk Tua, I don't know.
And nonetheless, though, DJ Weeks, he's leading this thing for now. But we're going to see how fast Chad White can get rolling on this alternate set of tires. He's already ran the primary. He's on the alternate now. And he's the first of your leaders to head down pit road.
I do want to make a disclaimer. I don't know as much about IndyCar. I could be completely wrong about the tires, but I'm 95% sure that the red tires are the softer compound and should have more grip.
We're going to find out here. Chad's still getting them things warmed up. This next lap around, we'll kind of get a feel on his lap time. See what Chad White's got for us out of Loudon, Tennessee, as he's trying to get around. Who's that? That is a lap car, so who knows? Chad White working through some traffic. Let's hop on board so he gets these tires warmed up, and he is on a hunt to regain that race lead.
While we're on board with Chad, Kyle Bowling has hit pit road for his stop now.
Well, Bowling down pit road. He took over the lead there briefly while Chad came in. He's going to swap out the tires, put on the primary set, as DJ Weeks, still out front, has not pit yet.
It's interesting to see with this pit cycle how much of an advantage Chad will have. I'm assuming he will have one because he had a pretty clean pit entry and pit exit. Yeah,
now, Jesse, the field is cooked. They are done for. You may as well throw the checker flag because Chad White just put down a 10.0.
That is the fastest lap of the race for not only Chad, but just anybody. It turns out I might have known something about the tire compound. Is Kyle Bowling almost junked it on his hard tires, able to keep it going. But there's, I don't know which corner it is, but one of these corners is gravel covering basically the entire track, and it almost wiped out Kyle Bowling.
Yeah, now, Jesse, one interesting strategy, you know, I was thinking about before Chad came down pit road. He had his harder set of tires. I'm not sure why he came down pit road right at the middle. If I was him, I might have tried to go in a few extra laps on that harder compound because we know those tires last longer.
That's the exact same thing I was thinking. I thought he would go as far as he could, and at first maybe I thought maybe he did, but then everybody else was staying out, like Weeks and Bowling. They were doing extra laps, so who knows? Maybe he saw the fact that Bowling was keeping up with him on the reds and thought the fall off wasn't that much.
You know, maybe somehow these alternates actually last longer because, like you just said, all the guys on the alternates stayed out longer than halfway. And Chad comes in a little bit early, well, not early, but halfway. So it's going to see how this plays out, see what kind of tire fall off we have as Michael Kurdzalik, currently your race leader, but not for long. He's still got a pit out of Louisville, Kentucky.
Definitely a new name out front. You picked him to win, if I believe correctly. Do you still think that might happen tonight?
No, Jesse, I think you are mistaken. I actually picked the 36 of Chad White.
Oh, so we picked the same exact person? I feel like I would have noticed that.
Nah, you must have not been paying attention, Jesse. Why would I not pick the Hutchinson Motorsports TV 36 machine of Chad White?
That's what I thought when you picked somebody else, or at least I thought you picked somebody else, but I must have misunderstood. I'm sorry.
That's all right, but Kurdzalik down pit road. He's going to relinquish that race lead over to Chad White, who, Jesse, his last lap, he put down a 1:10.11, so he was 3/100ths off as he crosses the line here. 1:10.12, so his 3 laps have all been within about 5/100ths, Jesse. Talk about consistency. Chad White is on tonight.
Yeah, he's been on an absolute heater lately. When it comes to Stars and Stripes specifically, he kind of struggled last season, but this season he's coming out hot. I'm not sure exactly where he is in points, but I know he's had several good results. I mean, if you check out our shorts page, you can see one posted recently of the Superstar ARCA race, the last one of their season, where he was part of a 4-way battle for the win on the last lap. Chad White, these last couple of weeks, probably the best of his iRacing career when it comes to league racing.
And we're watching Chad through the sectors here. Seeing which is his best sector. I don't know what sector is what, but all I know is he is bad fast, and he has been consistent as he's rolling through the track.
I mean, the gap to second right now is up to 5 seconds. So he's got 16 laps to go. He's just, what he really needs to do is just kind of chill out and cruise. He's setting fast laps, but you don't want to absolutely destroy your car with that, trying to set a quick lap from the lead. That would be really unfortunate.
And his last lap was about 8/10 slower. Nothing to be concerned about. 8/10 sounds like a lot, but here at these road courses, this is such a long track, and it takes well over a minute to do a lap. It's not too bad.
Yeah, absolutely not, but it's looking good so far for Chad. course, DJ Weeks in second right now. Kyle Bowling holding down the third spot. Zach Price up 4 spots on the night in the fourth. Brian Burchett down 2 spots, sitting in fifth right now, 22 seconds back from your leader.
Yeah, we saw Burchett. I think he flew off the track earlier, so hopefully he's got that thing back rolling as we look through the field a little bit. JT Tinker sitting in the 11th position right now, starting in 22nd. He continues to climb up through the field.
He's got a while to go to get to Brian Lynch. If he can get to the 24 car, JT Tinker might be able to crack into the top 10.
There's shortcut.
Can he make his own line through the corkscrew?
You take a look here. Here's JT Tinker taking a little bit shortcut there through the. That's how you do it. Keeps it rolling.
As long as you don't wreck it, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. You're creating a new line through one of the most famous turns in motorsports there, JT Tinker.
Absolutely. As we look through the field, Brian Samara in the 17th position, Aaron Poplin running in 19th. So there's your BCI crew as Poplin comes down pit road. Not been a good night for him. But Foley just put down the fastest lap of the session, Jesse, 1:09.06.
That's a wicked fast lap for the Italian. When it, like we said previously, with 3 starts in the IndyCar, his average finish is only 15th, so he's looking better for that. He's going to improve that if he manages to finish where he's at right now in 7th. But that's quick.
Yeah, that's a second faster than Chad's fastest lap out front. So if Foley can keep this pace up somehow, you're going to see him climb to the field as he's sitting back in the 7th position. He's got a lot of work to do.
I was going to say, I don't think there's any chance he can catch for the lead or anything like that. He's 37 seconds back, but if he can keep this speed up, he definitely might be able to crack the top 5.
Absolutely. We look through the field. There's right now, Jesse, only 8 cars on the lead lap. It's kind of surprising here as Duff is about to fall down a lap as well.
It seems to be a big spread when it comes to IndyCar, because what happens is, like we mentioned before, this is the first time that these drivers have ever been on this track in this league, and this is the first time they've ever been on a road course in an IndyCar in this league. So unless you have experience outside of this league in the IndyCar, or you put in plenty of practice this week, a lot of the guys are struggling out here, and you can really see it when you've got several people 1 lap down, several people 2 or 3 laps down, and of course a couple of people have wrecked out of this thing already.
Absolutely. Your race leader, Chad White, getting through some lap traffic. Oh, gets a little bit of trouble there. Valvoline car finally gets out of the way. That could have been deadly there for your race leader. There's rocks being thrown around everywhere into the stands. Fans are getting smoked with rocks right now.
I was going to say, I saw the rocks too and was going to make a comment on it. Like, these guys are going to have some cracks in their visors after this thing. You can tell where people go off track a lot because the track is just absolutely covered in gravel, and you can see it stick to the tires and flying up in the air and all sorts of stuff.
And somebody in the chat asked how Duff was doing. Well, we just kind of showed him, but he is the last car on the lead lap. He's running top 10, not too shabby for him. He's about to fall a lap down, though, on your race leader, Chad White, who's sneaking up behind him quickly.
And not to panic, but DJ Weeks has cut into Chad White's lead just a slight bit here recently. It was 5 seconds a couple laps ago. He's got the lead down to 4 seconds, but I think it's just due to some of the traffic Chad hit. We saw him have to lock the brakes up to get around that Valvoline car, but if he can get around traffic a little better, I think he's got this thing in the bag with 12 to go.
And we saw that last lap, Chad White lost 1.3 seconds. That had a lot to do with kind of slightly going off the track to avoid that, I think it was a Marlboro machine. But right now, DJ Weeks, been a good night for him. He's going to keep this thing rolling, working through some lap traffic. He's about 4.3 seconds.
Definitely. A good night for Weeks. A good night for several of these guys out here that have been able to shine in this IndyCar tonight. And what it isn't a good week for is people like Scott Rickard and Dylan Grimm, the guys that are usually front runners, for some reason not able to make the race tonight. I saw where Scott Rickard attempted to make it, I believe, but not starting the race tonight. I'm not sure at all about Grimm, but he is not here either.
Yeah, bad news for them. We know Rickard would definitely be in the top 3 now and possibly winning this race, but For now, though, it's Chad White out front. He's got 3.7 seconds out in front of Weeks. I don't know, Jesse. That lead is kind of dwindling just a little bit.
As it seems to jump back up to 4 seconds, I think the timing's just jumping around a little bit through corners like the corkscrew. So with 11 to go, I wouldn't worry too much about it unless we see it start to get down to 2 seconds or maybe 1 second. Then we'll know we'll truly have a battle on our hands. But right now, all Chad White is trying to do is just hit his marks and stay consistent.
Yeah, we saw Josh Whitaker loop it around, and I can confirm DJ Weeks is also on that alternate set of tires. So he's got the same set as Chad White, as Kyle Bowling has the primary set in third.
And I wish I had a direct comparison of Kyle Bowling's times from the start of the race compared to now. I imagine it's probably slower on the primaries than it was the alternates, and kind of makes you wonder why he chose to go with the alternate tires first.
Yeah, not sure. I'm trying to pull up some information here. Actually, I can pull up every lap here. Give me a moment.
Absolutely, take your time. The people that are on the lead lap are starting to shrink. William Duff's been lapped now. Only 7 cars left on the lead lap. Thankfully, most of them likely going to stay on the lead lap here unless something catastrophic happens.
Yeah, and I'm trying something with timing and scoring. It is not liking what I'm putting in, so that is not going to work, but we tried it out. Nonetheless, though, we know Kyle Bowling sitting in the top 3. He's going to try to get that thing rolling, get to the finish here as we have just 9 laps left to go here at the Grand Prix of Monterey, Jesse.
Yeah, 9 exciting laps left here at Laguna Seca. Not really exciting battle for the lead. Not really any close battles here in the top 7 here on the lead lap, but anything could happen. All it takes is one mistake and this whole race has changed.
100%. We're going to take our only break of the night right now, so kick back, relax, folks. Click that like button on the video. Subscribe to the page. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We are broadcasting live here tonight in 1440p for the first time ever, and you might notice we got some new graphics. Don't they look good? We'll be back in a moment. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. 42 right there with him. Smokes him. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Phil. We are back here at Laguna Seca. Chad White still out front, Jesse, by 3.8 seconds. Not much changing there in the battle for your race lead.
Yeah, nothing too crazy different. DJ Weeks is a bit faster than the leader right now, Chad White. Last lap, Chad White ran a 111.11 to DJ Weeks is 110.48, so Weeks a little bit faster. The question is it going to be enough with coming to 4 laps to go here?
Yeah, you know, I got it up on the screen right now, Jesse. The last 3 laps combined, looks like Weeks has gained. Oh, hang on. This lap's logging in right now. Yeah, and he lost a little ground there. So definitely not enough unless Chad pops off the track. He's only gained about 1.5 seconds at most in the last 4 laps.
I will say, though, DJ Weeks does have Chad White in his sights. He is right behind him on track, so he has that little bit of extra motivation, maybe propelling him towards that lead.
You know, and during the break, me and you were talking about this push-to-pass stuff. I might have information here. I'm seeing guys light up green. According to my information, I have Chad White has all of his push-to-pass left, and DJ Weeks has 142 out of 200 left, so he's hardly used any as well.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out if those stats are correct. On my end, I can't see any of those sorts of numbers, so I don't have too much insight on it, but it wouldn't be far-fetched for me to believe that Chad White wouldn't even have a button bound to use his push-to-pass.
And it's possible, you know, this track, there's a lot of tight turns. Maybe there's really not many good spots to use it. I do notice Alex Buffoli has been lighting up green a bunch on my screen. So we'll see if we can kind of notice a difference. We're going to hop on board with Alex Buffoli, currently running in 6th here. We got Kyle Boland using push-to-pass right now. Lit up, he let off. I don't know, I think that's accurate. Seems like he let off right at the corner. I think these numbers are going to be good.
My limited knowledge of push-to-pass, I believe how it works is you hit it and it either lasts for, I think it's 20 seconds or until you let off 100% throttle. It only works if you're on the gas 100%.
And right now, Michael Kurzelik running in 7th right here. We're trying to round out the top 10, but 3 laps remain here at Laguna Seca in the Grand Prix of Monterey here with the Stars and Stripes Series on Hutchinson Motorsports TV, folks. We appreciate you guys coming out here, spending your Tuesday night on the world's #1 streaming service. We are in 1440p here tonight. Be sure, click that like button. Subscribe to the page. We are the world's #1 streaming service as Chad White. 2 laps remain.
While you're at it, make sure to go to Discord and give Hutchinson Motorsports a look on Discord. We've got the link there in the description for you. We've got a lot of cool stuff that goes on there. It's the one way you can see the HMS TV Power Rankings. We've got special events that happen. We've got all sorts of good stuff over in the Discord if you so join us.
Well said, Jesse, as we're watching your race leader, Chad White, rip it around the speedway. Just 2 laps remain. We're about to get the white flag here shortly.
I mean, this has been, other than when he took his pit stop, it's been a flag-to-flag race in the lead for Chad White. I can't say I expected it. When I heard this race was on the schedule, my brain did not say, oh, Chad White's going to win that one. It kind of came out of the blue, but he must have really put some work in to learn this track and this car, because we'll have to ask him when we interview him, but I doubt he has experience here in this car.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever he did is working as he's taking the white flag. Final time around here at Laguna Seca here in California. Chad White looking to get around the track one more time and park it in victory lane.
Yeah, DJ Weeks' time falling off a little bit now. He's about 3.5 seconds back, and then you've got to go all the way to 20 seconds back to find Kyle Bowling there in 3rd. He looked like he might have something to compete with Chad at first, but a couple of mistakes ended up leading to him being in 3rd, and he's way, way back.
Absolutely, Chad White. He's about halfway around the track. Just needs to get through a handful more corners, and Jesse, we know the one corner he's probably sweating the most is this corkscrew coming up.
And I do just want to mention, we talked earlier about Alex Buffoli being quick. He did just now crack the top 5, able to get by Burchett for that 5th spot.
Yeah, good night for Buffoli, rounding out the top 5. Chad getting around another lapper here. Last corner, he's going to take the hard left onto the front stretch here at Laguna Seca. Chad White in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV 36 machine going to take the checkered flag and win the Grand Prix of Monterey.
DJ Weeks takes home second. We've got a while to wait as Kyle Bowen in the 44. He's coming through the final corner now, and he's going to take that third spot over Zach Kreitz, who goes off the track, but he's still going to finish in the 4th spot.
As Kreitz crosses the line for 4th. The battle for 5th here. Alex Buffoli going to hold on as he's got Brian Burchett right a little bit behind him here. Buffoli taking the hard left for the final time. Checkered flag in the air at Laguna Seca. Top 5 for Buffoli.
I mean, he passed Burchett for 5th on the front stretch the lap before, and then gapped him by 3 seconds. So Buffoli was flying there at the end. Unfortunately, a little too late for the 08 car, but still a great finish for the Italian.
100%. Kerzelik's the last car on the lead lap. He just crossed the line. So that is everybody here, I believe. So there is your unofficial final results here. Chad White wins it. DJ Weeks 2nd. Kyle Bowen 3rd. That's your top 3 here at the Grand Prix of Monterey with the Stars and Stripes series in the Indy Cars. We're going to get some interviews coming up here next, folks. Take a short break. We'll be back in a moment. We are back here. Chad White parks it in victory lane. Your podium finishers, White, Weeks, and Bowling. Let's check them out. See who we got available for some interviews. Looks like DJ Weeks is in there now. But let's start with Kyle Bowling, our 3rd place finisher. Kyle, Blake, and Jesse up in the booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Hey, not a bad night for you. You put it on the podium here. You didn't win it, but you definitely can't complain about a top 3 finish.
No, I definitely cannot. Especially with how miserable some of these races have been this season, especially last week. Yeah, it was a good, solid night. Wasn't really expecting it, but it worked out.
Yeah, you kept it clean the whole night. You qualified up front, able to get it done. Jesse, what did you see out of Bowling here in that 44 Pepsi machine?
The one thing I noticed when it comes to the top 3 here tonight, White, Weeks, and yourself, you're the only driver that started on the alternate tires and ended on the primaries. Was there any specific strategy decision there for you?
Not really. I definitely was like, that first part of the race, I'm like just like hanging with the guys in the primaries. I'm like, all right, the second half of the race, they're going to be gone. So I was worried about kind of preparing for finishing 3rd. But no, I didn't really know any better. I barely ran anything road course with these cars. So it's just what I knew I had to run them at some point. So I picked them then.
Well, you do have 11 road course starts in Stars and Stripes, now 12, and just a fun fact, I don't know if you know this, but you're 100% top 10 finish in road courses here, and you're going to continue that streak here tonight.
Yeah, I'm not super shocked by that. Just these have usually been kind of a decently strong point for me. Not like I'm not going to win, but I'll show up and I'll be competitive.
There you go.
Well, you did a great job tonight. Put it on the podium. Before you head out, you got anything to let our fans know?
Oh, just thanks to the Stars Stripes guys for putting on a pretty solid league here, and hopefully we can go do this again next week.
All right. Well, hey, great job out there, Kyle. Next week, Jesse, you know where we're going?
Next week, I believe, is the Gen 4 cars at Bristol. I might be wrong about that, but I'm 90% sure that's what we're doing next week.
How you feeling about that, Kyle?
Pretty happy.
Well, hey, well, I will say we do a Gen 4 league, and there are quite a bit of wrecks. So hopefully that trend doesn't continue here.
Hopefully not, but Bristol's been one of those tracks where I probably should have about 3 or 4 wins there by now, and just something happens at the end that strategy takes me out of it. I usually still finish top 5, but didn't quite get that win.
All right, well, hey, we'll send you back to your team. Great job out there getting a podium finish.
Yeah, thank you.
There's Kyle Bowling, your third place finisher. Time to bring in our second place finisher, DJ Weeks in the number 97 car. Let's pull him in here. DJ, Blake, and Jesse up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, great night for you. You put it on the podium. It was a quiet night for you, but a good one. You were always up there, qualified up front. Get it in second. How'd the car feel?
Oh, the car was great. I just can't believe how many people started on red tires. You know, you get lower fuel later in the race, and the track is so dirty from everybody going off. So you needed those reds to have grip, and I just watched so many people just fading away when they're on the blacks. It was kind of scary though. Some of these lap cars.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, you know, on the tire strategy. We were able to tell who was on what set of tires, but we really didn't know which set would be the way to go. But according to what you're saying, it seems like starting on the blacks was the right call.
Oh, but technically, I guess they're primary tires. But yeah. I mean, they're a little bit slower, but when the track's green like it is, I mean, they're okay. But once you get everybody, the track's hot, loses grip, and then you need the soft tire to really grip down. And I think the guy who finished third, he was in front of me right before the pit cycle. He faded really bad, and I was like, that has to be the tire situation.
Absolutely, definitely seems to have made a difference. Jesse, what'd you see out of DJ here?
I was going to say, I don't have a whole lot specifically on you, but finishing second tonight's definitely a good look. Do you have a lot of prior experience in Indy cars when it comes to road courses? You seem to have at least some tire knowledge. So do you have a lot of experience in these cars on the twisties?
No. I've ran like 5 IndyCar races ever, but my teammate Alex Buffoli, who had an adventure, I'm sure he's gonna have fun watching that back. He's like an IndyCar champ from years ago on other leagues, so he knows what to do. He just says, "Hey, put these tires on, do this, do that, raise this bar up," and I was like, "Okay, I'll do that." And with the blacks, you gotta change your settings around a little bit. So I went up on the front bar just to make it stiffer because you don't really want a lot of oversteer on them tires because they got no grip. So just small things like that really make a big difference. But you got to have good teammates.
Yeah, we did notice that Buffoli set the fastest lap of the race by almost a second. So he was bad fast out there, just bad track position.
Yeah, I think he wrecked on like lap 4 or 5 and had to make an extra stop and use his fast repair. But I was cheering him on because I was all by myself on an island, so I was able to kind of watch his progression through Sim Racer apps. So really happy for him to get that top 5.
Heck yeah.
Now, DJ, I will ask you, we know, Alex Buffoli, he's straight off the boat from Italy, doesn't speak English. How were you able to communicate so well with him?
I just throw a bag of pasta at him. He figures it out, right?
All right. Well, we kind of figured, but hey, before you head out, great job tonight. You got a top 3 podium finish. Do you have any shout outs or anything to add for these fans at home?
Yeah, thanks to all the guys at Stars and Stripes let me race. I'm just part-time this year, so I think I'll be here for all the IndyCar races, but I don't know how many other of the oval tracks I'll be at. Thanks for you guys broadcasting. It's always entertaining to go back and watch these races and some of the jokes. I know some people probably don't like them, but I find them hilarious. And then thanks to my teammate Alex and the other teammates at Outlaw Racing for supporting me.
All right. Well, hey, great job. We'll send you back to your team. Jesse, you got any last words of encouragement for DJ here?
No, not really. Other than great job with the podium finish tonight. Heck of a race, man.
I appreciate it, boys.
All right, there's DJ Weeks, your second place finisher, but it is time, Jesse, the star of the show. He honestly kind of dominated this thing. Chad White parking in victory lane in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV number 36 machine. We'll pull him in here. Chad, Blake, and Jesse in the booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha, Blake.
Hey, what happened, Chad? I tell you what, ever since we threw those Hutchinson Motorsports TV stickers on your car, you are just killing it.
Dude, I think they're worth like 500 horsepower each or something like that. That's the only thing I could figure because that thing was just an absolute rocket tonight. I don't know what the deal with that was, but I am not complaining.
Me and Jesse were talking, I mean, we expected you to run decent, but it just never came through our mind, Chad White, IndyCar ringer at Laguna Seca. You came out here, you dominated this thing. What got into you?
practice. I actually practiced a little bit for this race, so I guess that helped a little bit. But I don't know. I didn't expect to get the pole, but then I was able to run the qualifying lap on reds, and then that was actually my personal best lap. And then I was like, okay, I'll probably drop back to third or fourth or whatever here in the race, and it just never happened. So it just had maintained a steady gap, about 3.5 seconds the whole race, and it was just, I don't know, it was a rocket.
Yes, it was. Jesse, what did you see out of Chad here?
I think you're on the heater, like the biggest heater you've ever had when it comes to iRacing league races, especially here on HMS TV recently, because I know you had a podium whenever I was broadcasting covering for Blake when he was on vacation.
Mhm.
I'm 90% sure you also had another podium the following week. And then I don't know for sure. I think you might have finished fourth in the Superstar ARCA finale, but you were battling for the win there on the last lap. And then you come here and win at Laguna freaking Seca in an IndyCar by 2 seconds. What is going on?
I was gonna say, not bad for a NASCAR guy, is it? Yeah, I don't know. I just something's clicking right now. Not getting into a bunch of messes. Just being able to stay consistent and actually finish races, I think is just helping a lot. Just having, finishing where I'm running a lot of the time. But the only real bad race I've had in the last month or so was the ARCA car at Homestead. So that's pretty much been it. It's usually been podiums or top fives the last month.
Now, I don't know for sure. I don't know your schedule personally, but we have the GLSR Truck Series tomorrow night. Are you going to be out there in that race too?
Yeah, I will be there. As long as I make the field for because they're running their Clash tomorrow, right?
Yep, the speed
I
weeks.
believe it's the speed. Yeah, I would believe.
Yeah, I think you have to make the main event by winning the Open or something like that. The only people that are locked in are the people that won races there last season. So I'm not locked into that one, but maybe we'll be able to win and get in that one too.
I was gonna say, if there's ever a time, it would be now, because this last stretch of races has been crazy for you.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Like I said, I didn't expect to come out here and, more or less dominate in an IndyCar at Laguna Seca of all places. But for whatever reason, everything's working right now and it's clicking. And I don't know. I'm not going to complain.
Heck yeah, man.
All right, well, hey, congratulations, Chad. Your first win here in the Stars and Stripes series. You got any shout-outs for our fans at home before we round out the night?
Other than Hutchinson Motorsports TV, that's plastered all over my race car. #1 streaming service on the web in the world.
Well said, Chad. You're definitely right there. But, hey, great job once again tonight. You were the car to beat all night long, basically led the whole thing other than the pit cycle. So we'll send you down here to celebrate, and hopefully we see you back up here next week. I believe we're in the Gen 4 at Bristol here.
Yep, I think that'll be a good one for us, too.
All right. Well, hey, great job, Chad.
Yep, thank you, buddy.
There was Chad White, your race winner here tonight. Jesse, what did you think as we round out the night here at Laguna Seca, the Grand Prix of Monterey? It was a pretty clean race. Had a few repeat offenders fly off the track, but fairly clean for the most part, and Chad White parks it in victory lane.
Yeah, I guess the #1 question that still sticks in my mind is what would have happened if Scott Rickard was able to make the race. I'm definitely interested to see what kept the 05 from being out there tonight. I mean, we just look at it, he's leading the points this year, 2 wins, finished top 5 in every single race. He's done 6 IndyCar starts, finished top 5 in 5 of them, 12 road course starts, 10 wins. I think if he's out here, it could have been a different race. But, I mean, we're beating a dead horse, but I didn't have Chad White winning Laguna Seca on my bingo card, so an absolute great drive from Chad, and a shout out to DJ Weeks too, being within 2.5 seconds. Everybody else is 18 seconds plus back. So those two guys were definitely the star of the show tonight.
100%, and like you said, Scott Rickard might have changed everything, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. He didn't make it tonight. Chad White did, parks it in victory lane. But tomorrow night, Jesse, we're going to be here, like you mentioned, the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series. Going to have our Speed Weeks race. We're going to be at Daytona. thought it was Talladega at first for some reason, but it is going to be at Daytona. And like Chad mentioned, this is a very large league. People have to race their way into this race. People are locked in from last season, and a lot of new guys that aren't locked in. So we're not really sure how that's going to round out, but be sure to tune in. We're going to be back here live tomorrow night around, probably around 8:30 Eastern or so. Just check out our stream schedule here on the channel. But be sure to click the like button on the video, subscribe to the page, and click that notification bell so you know when we go live. And like Jesse mentioned earlier, in the description, we've got some information regarding our Discord channel and some other good stuff. But in the booth with me tonight, Jesse Becker, we are done here at Laguna Seca. Looks like we're in the desert. We're in California. Nonetheless, thanks for tuning in. Click that like and subscribe button. Till next time. Blake Hutchinson signing out. The 42 right there with him. Smokes him. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the whole field. It's junk. It's a parking lot. They door slam each other. Checkered flag in the air. It's going to be too close to call. Oh, he just got smoked. Oh, my goodness. He got dumped in INSA racing. Caution is out. Oh,